in 2007 when the eye doctor said I was legally blind. It's like somebody threw mud on my windshield. Now I use the phone is like my third arm.
Yep.
You know,
Me too.
Like with everybody. And
Yep.
the technology is a huge asset. I designed the high C package, Mission Tortillas, the chips and sauces and tortillas. That was my baby project for like 5 years. Achilles International is a nonprofit organization that's global that sponsors, supports, and funds disabled athletes. Just keep trying and don't let people who don't understand your situation bother you.
A green tinted screen and braille lettering pops up that turns into the white Lighthouse of Houston logo. The Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential cover art pops up on screen. There's a flash, then clips of Jennifer's eye, her walking down the hall, and reading braille appear. A montage of clips from episodes of the podcast begins with Jennifer talking to our guests and smiling. It zooms in on the Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential cover art.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential. I am your hostie with the mostie, Jennifer Parrish, and today we have another absolutely exciting episode lined up for you guys. Our guest today is Charlie Hardwick. Charlie's an inspirational journalist who has faced vision loss and has continued to pursue his creative passions. Charlie has a remarkable story that includes his journey through vision loss, his work as a graphic designer, musician, and journalist, which is holy moly, and then his involvement with Achilles International as well. All right, guys, before we get started, as usual, we will describe our set for our blind and low vision viewers. We are sitting in blue chairs with wooden tables next to us. We have a white brick background, blue lights, and a neon lighthouse sign. So thank you for joining us today, Charlie.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Before we get started, as usual, guys, we're going to describe our set for our blind viewers. We're sitting in blue chairs with wooden tables next to us. We have a white brick background, blue lights, and a neon lighthouse sign. And again, thank you for joining us. I'm so glad you're here. Can you start by telling us a little bit about yourself and your vision loss journey?
Sure. Yeah, I'm 56. I just turned 56 a few weeks ago.
Happy birthday.
And thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. And native Houstonian. And I have been visually impaired since 2007 when I was 38 years old due to a bad experience with pneumonia that led to meningitis.
Oh, my.
In the hospital. Yeah.
Wow.
And it was a slow deterioration that lasted about 4 years, the progression downward. But it was in 2007 when the eye doctor said I was legally blind, and I didn't really know what that meant.
Yeah.
It happened so slowly that it didn't seem like I could tell something was going on. But in 2006, I finally elected to stop driving.
Right.
Which I probably shouldn't have been in the first place, but that's you.
Right. Nobody wants to give that up.
Yeah. Well, and then you're kind of in denial when this is going on.
Absolutely.
So that's a big issue too. So.
Yeah, and it's slow. Like you said, it's a slow progression, so you kind of don't know what you can't see till you really can't see it.
Right. Until you take the test, the visual field test. I mean, it was really odd, and then this kind of see the results of that test, through what little vision I had remaining. It kind of blew my mind, and I was like, oh, wow, this, it makes sense now.
Yeah.
What's happening. So.
Wow. What can you see now?
Very little. It's like a 15% is left or remaining.
Mm-hmm. Out of both eyes?
Out of both eyes, yeah. And it's different in each eye, but I tell people it's like somebody threw mud on my windshield.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? And you can see through parts here and there and other parts not so much. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I wear glasses, because I just need all the help I can get. So those areas I can see through, the glasses help, somewhat with edge definition.
Right.
So, yeah.
Got it. Okay.
But it's also an annoying part about it because people see me on the street and they say, well, if you're blind, why you wear glasses?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that's the biggest pain.
I have interviewed so many people that get, we all get that. It's just like, and my eyes look kind of crazy, so people can tell immediately that I'm blind.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like some people's don't, and they're like, hey, you look like you could see. You're lying.
Yeah, right.
And it sucks.
It does suck.
It sucks.
Pain. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, so tell me about kind of how your vision loss impacts your daily life currently.
Well, I've really adapted very well to it. Now I use the phone is like my third arm.
Yep.
You know,
Me too.
like with everybody. And the technology is a huge asset. So I just started using Be My Eyes like about 6 months ago, and that's
cool?
it's been a huge help. I mean, I'm doing it with photographs I take on vacations. You know, I go back and I'm like, what is this photograph? And
Right.
I have Be My Eyes tell me what it is. I'm like, oh, okay. And that's a huge help. Reading bills, you know, reading mail.
Mail. Yep.
That's the big thing, because I changed insurance on my house, and there was a little bit of lag time. I was getting all these warning letters from the bank, and
yeah.
so I was like, you know, what is this? So Be My Eyes came through like a pro. Other apps I use when just getting around, VoiceVista is one I used when I went on my vacation.
Ooh, tell me about this one. This is one I haven't heard of.
It is super cool. So it's like the baby brother of a Microsoft application that I can't remember the name of right now.
Okay.
But it's an improvement upon it. You search a location where you want to go, and you place what's called a beacon, which is like kind of like a lighthouse.
Okay.
And so it sends out a signal, and when you point your phone directly at it, it tells you, you know, your location is like 0.5 miles away at 12 o'clock. And when you turn your phone off of that, it says your location is 0.5 miles away at 10 o'clock. So
Right.
you're like, oh, okay, I need to go. So it's like a compass.
Right.
And you can follow that direction. And this is what I did when I was in Germany, because the streets in Germany they're not perfectly, you know.
Right. Like a square or a grid. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're all crazy. So I just kept my phone in that direction. Actually, it knows which way you're walking. It bases your direction of walking to the compass.
Yeah.
So I would just take a left here, take a right there, and I just kept lining in or locking into, 12 o'clock. And it would call out my distance, getting closer and closer. And that's how I find, where I want to go.
That's awesome.
And so if I want to get back to my hotel, I put my hotel in, set the beacon, and just follow the beacon. And but what it also does is it calls out businesses, bus stops, transit stops, public bike racks, water fountains,
Oh, wow.
all kinds of things. A lot of that got a little too much for me. I had to change my settings and just take some
Right.
of that stuff out.
Yeah.
But if you're just
exactly.
exploring around, and not really going somewhere, because I was focused on getting somewhere when I was out. But if I just wanted to wander around and wanted to know, is there a cool cafe that I'm passing by, it would call that out,
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, and I use that over Google Maps. I normally would use Google Maps because it's real good about turn left here, turn right there, blah, blah.
Yeah. That's what I use actually is Google Maps a lot.
Yeah. And, and I experimented with this because somebody told me, well, you try and use both of them in tandem. And I tried that, but it was just too much with the call
Yeah.
out.
It's too much information. Exactly.
The cool thing about the beacon on this app is it has a tonal quality. So it has a high pitch when you're locked in at 12 o'clock.
Nice.
And when you rotate to 3 o'clock, the pitch changes lower.
Oh, that's
And then
cool.
when you rotate to 6 o'clock, going the opposite direction, it changes even lower.
Wow.
Now, the funny thing is, when the first time I tried this, I had that backwards.
Oh,
And
you're
so-
going to the low one.
Yeah, because I thought
Yeah.
the low one sounds cooler.
Right.
So I was going on the low one, but it kept saying, well, now you're 6.6 miles away. Now you're
no.
0.68 miles away. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
what's going on here?
Right.
So then I figured it out, after a while. But
Got it.
so yeah, VoiceVista.
VoiceVista. Okay, yeah. For those of you kiddies at home that need a new app, VoiceVista. Very cool. Okay, I'm gonna have to give that one a shot myself.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let's talk about your hobbies and interests because you got a lot of them.
Yeah.
And then how has your vision loss impacted all of these?
Well, so the art stuff, I pretty much just don't do anymore.
Okay, so let's elaborate a little bit.
Okay, so I had a career as a graphic designer for about 20 years.
Yeah.
Corporate graphic design, and actually down the street over here on Dunleavy, and they've since moved. But so I was in corporate graphic design, designing package design for the food industry and some industrial stuff. So I designed the high C packaging.
Oh, really? I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
the macaroni and cheese box has
yeah.
So
well,
high C,
high
very good.
C, the fruit wave on there. I drew the fruit wave.
That's awesome.
Imperial Sugar. I worked on that product.
Really?
Anything from Minute Maid and the orange juices, fruit juices.
That is so cool.
Mission tortillas, the chips and salsas and tortillas. That was my baby project for like 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it was right down the street. And it's funny because when I was losing my sight, I was there. And I used to run right over here on Allen Parkway every day.
Right.
And one day when I was walking to Allen Parkway, right here on the corner of Dallas and Dunleavy, there was a blind guy. And I remember looking at him going, huh. And I went up to him and said, hey, where are you going? And he's like, I'm looking for the Lighthouse. I'm like, oh, I think that's down that way.
Oh, how funny.
And I'm like, you want me to walk you down there? He's like, no, I got it. I'm like, oh, okay. He was real independent.
Yes.
But that was kind of, it's funny. I think about that. It's like a foreshadowing in my own life.
Oh, wow. And this was when you could see.
It's when I could see.
Wow. That's such a trip. I used to live on that corner, Dunleavy in Dallas.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with it.
Yeah.
Right behind the Texaco we used to live.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so I as I lost my vision, started losing it, I was able to do it for a while. I was trying to carry it on, and I used things like I inverted the screen on my computer to be a negative so I could see the line work,
right.
like we do on our phones.
Yep.
And
dark mode, light mode, yeah.
Mode. And then on the colors, mixing my colors, I already kind of knew color combinations for CMYK printing, and which is a 4-color process printing. So, because I was colorblind too, so I would just memorize the color tint combinations in my head.
And this was before you were colorblind before your vision loss?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you already had a little bit of that kind of training ingrained. Okay.
Yeah. And so when I stopped with the graphic design course, I lost in 2008, the economic downturn.
Yes.
Our company had a huge downsizing. And so at that point, I was legally blind, but I was hiding it from my business, hiding it from the company,
Yeah.
But I couldn't hide it very much because I was kept bumping into people in the hallway and pouring coffee on my forearm and stuff like this. And so anyway, they put me in the group of the layoffs, but they, I actually confessed, what was going on, and they said, oh, well, we're going to take care of you. So we had disability insurance at the company, and so I was able to financially be addressed. Yeah, right. Which was nice. And so after a while, when I was in, just to backtrack a little bit, in high school, which is in the mid 1980s, I had a band.
Yeah, so I hear you're a musician.
And so I played a band in high school, and then we wrote our own music, original music. We put out 3 records.
What genre, if you don't
mind?
On
our own, punk rock.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, it's kind of hardcore punk rock.
Yeah.
And all original stuff. And so I put that down when I started my career as a designer. I didn't really, I played guitar just at home, and didn't really do much out in public with it. But then around 2017, I ran across a friend who was a former colleague at the graphic design agency who was no longer there. And she said, hey, I'm playing music now. I have a record. I'm like, you're playing music? Because she couldn't even play a spoon in a jar when I knew her, But now she's a really accomplished musician, guitar player. She has her own band. She has like 3 records.
Dang.
Anyway, so she was like, you need to come and play again. Come play at this open mic. And so I started doing these open mics at coffee houses and really started focusing more on writing my own stuff. And so one thing led to another, and just kind of leapfrogged along, and eventually formed a little band, and we had a band going for about 1.5 years there. And then after, managing a band or having a band is like having a family, or, just managing people. And so, it's kind of a pain. It's like herding cats.
Herding cats.
Herding cats, yeah.
Nice.
Getting people together. And
right.
So there, after a while, it was super fun at first, but after a while there were just conflicts because some of the other guys in the band were in other bands, and so there were conflicts, scheduling
and logistics. Yeah,
we missed opportunities, or my band missed good opportunities to play. I got invited to play the closing of the Art Car Museum, which was a great opportunity, you know, and I know those people real well, and we couldn't do it because two of the guys had in their other band, which by the way was a cover band.
Oh man,
which I have a profound distaste for cover bands. I just don't like these cover band people. They couldn't do it because they had another gig.
Yeah,
you know, and I asked them, you know, if they could please, and you know, just this one time. It's a one-time thing. The thing's closed. You know,
yeah, and it's a big deal, right?
Yeah.
For those of you outside of Houston, the Art Car Museum was a huge thing, and we have this every year. We have an art car parade, and it's like these cars that like roll down Allen Parkway, and it's like they're all decorated like crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like bumblebees and who knows all what.
Yes.
There's a banana car, I think. and-
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
but anyway.
A lot of data. Okay. Yeah. All kinds of. Yeah.
Exactly. So anyway.
So from there, right about that was about a year ago when I just kind of stopped with the band, and so that's when the journalism started.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's a journalist too,
So,
guys.
Yeah. So I was writing songs and writing short form poems and short stories, and I started going back and writing stories from other previous experiences I've had just in life and publishing them on a blog, and then I have a friend who runs the First Saturday Arts Market, Mitch Cohen, and he writes for the Leader newspaper.
Okay.
And I just emailed him and said, "Hey, do you know? Are they hiring anybody?" And he's like, "Well, email the editor, Stephanie, you know, see what she says." And so emailed her. She said, "Give me some examples." I did. She said, "You're hired." I was like, "Great."
Nice.
It's like, because that's a great job for a visually impaired or blind person. It's just typing away on the computer, you know. 'Cause
Absolutely.
It's so easy to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
So, and you currently write for The Leader?
Yes.
Okay. Explain to what sort of content The Leader is.
So the Leader News, it's theleadernews.com online.
Got it.
And they are a community-based newspaper. They've been around for like 30, 40 years, maybe longer. Mm-hmm. They've changed owners a couple times.
Okay.
And they feature mostly articles about the Heights, Garden Oaks, Oak Forest, Timber Grove Manor, that kind of section of town.
Okay.
So the hitch is you've got to have an article based on that part of town. Mm-hmm. It's got to be part of your subject matter.
Okay.
We've kind of fudged some here and there.
Throw in Montrose.
Yeah. I could write it. I mean, I could write an article about something that's happening in Montrose.
Yeah.
If the person lives in the Heights.
Oh, got it.
You know what I mean? So I got to tie it
caveat.
in. Yeah, I got to. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's cool because I get to meet all kinds of cool people. You know, interview people in the hood.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that was my second article. Was when the Lighthouse posted on Facebook about the tandem bike rides that go on in Stewed Park.
Yeah.
And I saw that and I thought, yeah, this is great. A blind thing in Stewed Park, done deal, Heights connection, blind. This is great.
Done, yes.
So that's how I met Darian. And I interviewed Darian. And then she put me in touch with Michaela of Achilles International.
Sure.
And that's what led me to start running eventually with Achilles.
Yeah, that was my next question is how did you, so let's back up a little bit and talk about what Achilles International is. So why don't you describe that for us?
Achilles International is a nonprofit organization that's global that sponsors, supports, and funds disabled athletes in all forms. So not only blind people, but wheelchair bound, so the wheelchair racing. And so they sponsor mostly like marathon races, 5K, 10K races, and then the big marathons too. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it's global. So whenever there's a marathon or a race, if you're affiliated with Achilles and you're fulfilling the requirements of showing up to practice, every week.
Right.
I mean, you have to show up at least twice a week.
Yeah.
Or sorry, twice a month.
Yeah.
To have them pay for your admission in a race.
Right.
And so I go every week. I try to go every week.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really great because it's not, like I said, it's not just blind people, but there's wheelchair athletes. And they do this like hand cycles where they sit in these kind of, I guess they're trikes or something, tricycle, but they pedal them with their hands. I mean, these guys
wow.
I
bet they're strong.
Oh my God, yeah, these guys are amazing. They just zoom
Lord.
along.
Dang.
But so the first race I did the 5K portion. So I'm trying to build up. I'm not quite a marathon level yet.
Yeah.
I'm no Mike McCullough. I know that guy.
Shout out to Mike McCullough.
That guy could run from here to the moon. Probably.
Yes.
But he's a great inspiration.
Absolutely.
But I ran the 5K for the Chevron Marathon. So that was the day before the big one. But we had the wheelchair guys in there doing their cycles, and they took off first. It was so cool to see them,
Totally.
Yeah.
And then for those who do not know, explain how you are able to run.
So I have a tether. So it's like a band that goes around my left wrist, and then it's about 2 feet long, maybe a foot long, something like that. And it goes around my guide's wrist. So I run side by side with a guide.
Oh, wow.
And we run together. And so the guide will call out things like if there's, a dip in the pavement or a hole or something, or
right. And then how do you compute that enough to, in time? Because you're going at a pretty good clip, right?
Yeah, you just, a lot of it's, I just kind of wing it. I'm just kind of, if there's a substantial obstacle, he or she will normally count down.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1 kind of thing.
Got it.
And then they're just like, hey, come over back to the left a little bit. We're veering, and they keep you on track. So
yeah. It's so cool.
Oh, it's great. It's great
so
fun.
Cool. Yeah, I've heard a lot about it. I'm pretty asthmatic, so I'm not trying to run a marathon because I might fall out. But it's very, very cool. I do want to do those tandem bike rides. I've heard that they are very, very cool and gaining popularity.
They're fun
too.
They're fun. Yeah, I know the Lighthouse supplies those bikes, and we're really appreciative of that.
Absolutely, yes. So
and they have breakfast tacos at the end of that.
Nice.
So
that's my favorite part.
Incentive.
Yes, absolutely. Awesome. Right. Yeah. So let's go. I want to go back for a second because I forgot to ask you this question. I was curious. Journalism and your writing.
Yeah.
So how do you use what sort of assistive technology do you use?
Okay, so I'm on an iMac. I'm on a laptop.
Okay. On a Mac.
On a Mac.
So you're using VoiceOver?
Yeah, I'm using VoiceOver on Mac. So
oh wow.
So it's calling it. Yeah, I know. I don't use the JAWS. I haven't learned the JAWS stuff.
Ah, okay.
So I'm using the VoiceOver, and when I type, it calls out the letters and the words.
Of course.
And sometimes it's a little annoying because it wants to, if I have some weird word, it wants to correct
auto-correct it.
It's really a pain. I kind of like to figure out how to turn that off. But
yeah, I think it's a simple thing in your settings that you can turn that off.
Yeah, I need to figure that out.
Yeah.
But then so all my stuff is connected to the cloud at home, you know? Mm-hmm. And so what I've discovered is that the talkback or the voice on my phone, the speech thing on my phone, is a better voice than my computer, than my laptop.
Yep.
So I save the file, and then I pull up my phone and I go into my files and phone and the document's there. And then I just do the double finger swipe down and it reads it to me, and it reads it better than the computer. So it reads it more clearly with better flow. It picks up the punctuation better and even the questions, it does the high end of the question.
Yeah. Like the question mark?
Yeah. Right. Exactly. And so that's pretty much how I do it because, to me, flow and rhythm is really important.
100%
in writing. I'm a rhythm kind of guy.
Yeah,
and syllables are a big thing
for sure.
And so, but it also will catch if I do misspell a word that the computer doesn't catch. It'll catch it when it reads it back, because it'll pronounce the word in some kind of weird way, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute.
Yeah. Do you use an external keyboard to go back and edit? With your phone, or
no, I'll just use the phone purely to read it back to me.
I got it.
And then I'll close the phone out and get back on the computer, make changes, save, open the phone again.
Boom.
And so it's just kind of a two-step process.
Right. Yeah. It's nice to have the cloud.
Absolutely.
For sure. So you can use those multiple devices. I never thought of that. That's actually very cool.
Yeah.
Cool. How did your vision loss journey lead you to become part of the blind and low vision community?
I think the first thing was really just recently I've started getting involved with other blind people. I really was I don't want to say isolated, because I didn't reach out for much help because I was so much of a self-learner.
Yeah.
That I was figuring out things on my own. And plus some other people I had a computer tech guy that showed me some things,
Right.
And I would just learn what I needed to learn. The one thing I did do was I reached out to Texas Workforce Commission. I have a friend who runs a sign language business. She hires signers to do sign language, work for people. And she told me to call the Texas Workforce Commission because I could get like free glasses or something like this. And so I was just calling to get free glasses. And they said, well, you should take our mobility course. And so they put me in touch with a cane trainer. Mm-hmm. And I had a cane, but I never really learned the proper way to use it. So I was really grateful to take that course with her. And then she opened up a whole door. She was like, the Lighthouse has all these things. And,
nice.
There's this thing called Metro Lift. I'm like, really? Wow, that's cool. They'll come to my house? And she's like, yeah. And so a lot of that's really, I didn't get started in that until around 2018, 19, somewhere in there.
Oh, wow.
So for a long time, I was just on my own.
Just trying to wing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think people kind of get sort of feel their way, pardon the pun.
Yeah.
But, until like just some sort of interaction triggers it. And then, you kind of come to places like the Lighthouse and just start meeting other people with your common, whatever. And it's so helpful. I mean, I know I've had my vision loss all my life. Yeah. But I still, I love the sense of community around places like this. And, the and I say it during a lot of my podcasts. So this is kind of a a thing that I say, but it's just like ripping off the Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Like you're that blindness sort of stigma is gone.
Right.
So it's cool.
Yeah, I started to meet a lot of people. On Metro Lift, I met some interesting people.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
But when I did, I played guitar at Ron's Haven.
Yes. Ron Graham.
Ron Graham, his fundraiser.
Yes.
And I met a lot of people there.
Yeah, that was just this past year, right?
That was recently.
Recently, right? Okay,
yeah. So that was a lot of fun, and Ron's been great. I chat with him every now and then.
Yeah, Ron's a good dude. He was actually on our podcast as well.
Ah, cool.
So, yes. Yeah. So we're getting everybody up in here.
Slowly but surely, I'm networking more. I've not been to an iBug group meeting. When I've intended to go, but then COVID happened, so they don't do in person anymore, which it kind of bums me out because I really wanted to be in person with people.
It was nice. I had not been to one, but from what I understand, they would meet at the Apple Store and have this whole room, and they would let them do what they do, and then everybody goes to dinner afterwards. So that's pretty cool, Very
cool, yeah. Or at the LA Cafe or whatever over here. No, Cafe Express.
Cafe Express, right?
They would meet there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or Cafe Ginger. Yeah, that's our sushi place over here too, which is also pretty good. Nice. Very, very good. So let's go back to the Achilles International for a minute. You just took a recent trip to Germany with this group. Talk about that.
Yeah, well, so I didn't take it with the group, but what I did.
Okay.
Yeah, and what I did. So I'm part of a group on Facebook called Vision Loss Travel.
Okay.
And it's run by a woman who was a mobility trainer and a blind seeing eye dog trainer for a while. She lives in Belgium part of the time and Canada part of the time. Mm-hmm. And her whole thing is to try and get blind people to travel more, in emphasis on solo travel, and
cool.
Solo and group travel. So I've been having Zoom meetings with that group on Tuesdays every month, and it's super inspirational. I've met a bunch of blind people all over the world who travel solo. And so that gave me this inspiration of something I've always wanted to do, which is to go to Germany to go fly on a Zeppelin airship.
Oh, wow.
Right? Which is this huge, it's like a blimp, but it's like way bigger, and it's structured inside,
Right.
Mike McCullough would know what this is.
Yes.
And anyway, so I planned this trip solo and did a ton of research on it. But I did have a friend toward the last minute who said that he wanted to go, and I said, okay, fine. So I did bring a sighted friend.
Yeah.
But I did everything on the trip. I did all the navigating. I planned everything. I bought all the train tickets, everything on the trip. And she just kind of tagged along.
Yeah.
Her eyes came in handy a couple of times, just like, oh, let's stop at this cafe. It looks really nice. I wouldn't have seen that, So, but by the most part, I was navigating us around. So part of my research was, the clock kind of went off in my head of like, oh wait, Achilles International. Maybe there's a Munich chapter. So I looked him up on Facebook. No, I messaged Michaela first. And she's like, yes, absolutely. Here's the contact. So I sent a message to somebody there, and then I found them on Facebook, and somebody there reached out to me right away on Facebook through Messenger, a guy named Valdemar Holtz.
Oh, wow.
And so he was super nice, and he said, well, when you get over here, you should come do our workout on Thursday. And I was like, yes.
Cool.
So I went over there, and on Thursday, he came to my hotel and picked me up, and we walked together to show me the S-Bahn train system there. And so we got on the train, and we went out to the Olympic Park, which is this park that was built for the 1973 Olympics. It's this big, huge complex. And we ran out there. I met the other blind and the other guides that run. So I made some friends, and it was just a great experience. So cool to meet new people, and then to keep those contacts too for when I want to go back.
Absolutely. I'm going to ask you again after we're done filming here about this travel group on Facebook.
Yeah.
So just because this is actually so cool, but
Yeah.
Unfortunately, guys, we are running out of time today. So to wrap up our conversation, do you have any final tips or advice for people who are blind or low vision, when it comes to overcoming struggles and pursuing their dreams?
Yeah, keep trying. Just keep trying, and don't let people who don't understand your situation bother you.
Touché.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's really one of my biggest problems is people that don't understand. But just you can do a lot of things on your own independently. I was worried about traveling, but since I started doing it solo, because I did travel a few places solo in the States, that was a huge door open. Once you can do that and accomplish that, it's a huge win, and it gives you so much confidence to continue on and do more things.
I love that.
Now I want to go back and climb Germany's highest peak. That's what I'm going to do next year.
You take Mike with you.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
You guys could be a duo up there. Awesome. Charlie, you are awesome. I have so many questions.
Yeah.
I could do 2 more podcasts with you on it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
To our listeners, we hope you found this episode both informative and inspirational. Remember, you can find more episodes of Sightless Voices, Unleashing Potential, on our YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts. And as always, guys, your feedback is super welcome. We want to hear what you guys want to hear about, and any more stories you'd love to tell. We're ready to tell them. So please give us that feedback. Be sure to follow the Lighthouse of Houston on social media for updates, and visit our website at www.houstonlighthouse.org to find out all the cool stuff that we're planning. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.